up, ladies and gentlemen? You're listening, you're watching Sideline Talk. I'm the humble beast himself, Coach Hurd.
What it is, y'all? It's your boy Alan saying the place to be.
God bless y'all, man. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in on Facebook Live. I'm sorry. Yeah, we live from the Facebook group. Hashtag Sideline Talk. Shout out to everybody that's watching us on YouTube and Twitch. Yes. Sideline Talk is now on Twitch. Y'all see the ticker at the bottom. Follow us on those social media platforms. By the way, man, let's get right into it, Al. There's been a lot of chatter going on about MVP talks the last couple weeks, and wow, here we go. Here we go. Another MVP candidate is sitting at home watching the rest of the playoffs. As the Bucks were destroyed in Boston, 109-81. Let's add Mr. Hey, what up, John? Welcome to the screen. Welcome to the stream.
What's up, fellas?
What's happening?
How y'all doing?
Feeling good, feeling great. We was about to give Mr. Bad Guy himself, Alan C, the floor. Because if you don't know, in our Facebook group, hashtag Sideline Talk, Al has been I can't even find the right word for it, but
troll.
It's been a little trolling. Yeah. He's been trolling a little bit, but
little couple reaches here and there.
Yeah, but he's been consistent in his disbelief and in Jokic and how he didn't deserve MVP. So I'll let you talk it out, Al. What's going on, man?
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. I'm gonna tell you something straight off the motherfucking press. I ain't coming for no foolishness. In New York, goddamn it, y'all motherfucking women.
No, I mean, I ain't running. I said what the fuck I said, cuz.
Yeah.
Jokic is the worst back-to-back MVP. I don't care if Giannis went out second round, Joel went out the second round. They both.
My bad. Go. You good?
They both were better this year, and they both were better this year, and they both got further than Jokic, who got his MVP trophy delivered to a goddamn barn. So yeah, I ain't backing down from it.
Yeah, your whole stance was and correct me if I'm wrong, but your stance was the fact that the MVP is sitting at home watching the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And now your pick for MVP is sitting at home watching the playoffs.
So they we back at square one. The MVP is back at home watching the game.
Yeah, but that shouldn't, and to me it's a regular season award. That shouldn't have any merit behind it.
But the regular season, he wasn't even top four. This team was the top four. The team was the top four.
Now your team got to be top four to be MVP?
That's what they told me. That's what y'all told me before I started going to Westbrook. I'm sorry, Westbrook. Pardon me. Old habits die hard. But before I started going to Westbrook, y'all told me the top four was the MVP. That's why they took it away from the players' vote for going to Kareem, because Kareem was getting it and not even going to the playoffs one year because they knew they couldn't stop him. And now they want to stop it and say it got to be the top four players. All right, cool. They keep the same energy. When Kobe didn't get it, all right, cool. He was a 7th seed. I got it. I understood.
Wait. Now I'm confused. You said a top four player or
no top four seed? You got to be something in your team. You got to be valuable to your team. The middle word is valuable. The middle word is valuable.
So
you got to add some type of value to your team.
All right, listen, we're going to move on from this point. We're going to move on.
Because he's about to dive deep. You want to go into it.
I'm not going to go in, but we're going to move on.
He's the worst back-to-back MVP that we've ever seen.
But
I don't believe that.
I don't like that's such an oxymoron. Like he deserved the award. He was the most valuable. He was the most valuable player to his team.
Y'all are going to he can be team MVP. I ain't got no problem with that. Cool. Not in this goddamn league. Y'all gonna have to explain to me why he got more MVP trophies than Kobe, than Shaq, than Kevin Durant, than the same amount as Steph Curry, the same amount as Giannis. He ain't that level of caliber of player. He ain't never been. But he gonna get that same award or more awards than them? Nah.
So, yeah.
Before we move on, Herb, can you name all the people in his position better than him?
At his position?
Yeah.
No. Not all time. We're talking in the league now.
Right now.
Joel.
That's a short list.
That's the MVP. we can stop it right there. That's the MVP.
Wait. And that's even debatable.
Ain't no debate for me.
That's very debatable.
More points, more rebounds, better defender.
No.
Not a debate to me. I don't care about my center passing the ball. How many assists does Shaq average? I don't know. I could give a shit less. I don't care about my passing the ball.
Era.
How many assists does Hakeem average? I don't know. I know Arvydas Sabonis averaged a lot of it. There ain't nobody fighting for that nigga to be MVP.
Oh boy,
and that's the only thing that he has over Joel is assists. All right, cool.
All right, but all right, we beat that horse down. Let's just move on. So if you're just tuning in, the Bucks and the Celtics. The Celtics destroyed the Bucks at home. Absolutely beat the fur off of them. What's your thoughts on the game, John? I know before the series, I don't remember who picked. Like I couldn't pick. Like it was so close to me. Even with Middleton out, I seen it as such a close matchup that I couldn't really tell who would win it in the end. So I can't take no credit of picking the Celtics though.
I had picked the Bucks just because being a fan of Giannis, but I knew going into it most likely 6 or 7 Celtics should win that because they have a better, healthier overall team. It's been before you know it. I mean, it's only you can do so much before all 4 tires of that fucking car go wear and tear, and that's what happens to the Bucks. I mean, Grayson Allen outplayed himself the series before, and he didn't bring that shit to this series. So, I mean, you couldn't expect too much from everybody from that team. But it's just like when the bench of the Celtics showed up, they showed up, and the Bucks didn't. I mean, it is what it is. Giannis did everything he could do. Jrue Holiday, he tried to do everything he can do. It's just the team just was outmatched at the end.
I also believe that in the closeout game in particular, Milwaukee just looked gassed. And once the shot wasn't falling, it looks like everyone lost confidence. I mean, there were guys missing 8-footers. Like, what's going on? Like, baby, you at the rim. You 6'7", 6'8", you at the rim, and you're missing consistently. It was just, it got out of hand quick. From a coaching standpoint, I'm watching the game, and I'm watching the third quarter, and you know the lead is spreading, and I'm thinking to myself, why is Bobby Portis now on the court? Because they were visibly attacking the matchup with Brook Lopez, like attacking him downhill, making him commit to the rim, kick it out to his man at the 3-point line,
buckets,
jumper, and then it came out that what's the name? Bobby Portis had a moment of frustration on the sideline when he tried to break his goggles. And I'm like, bro, you can't have those moments. No. You can't have that in a closeout game. Not now. Like at a timeout, I get it. But in the middle of it, when they need you, when Bud could have made an adjustment to get Brook off the court, because the lineup that was in that third quarter that like stretched the lead, you had what was it? Horford, Grant Williams, Tatum, Brown, and Smart. And I'm thinking to myself, dang, you gotta get Lopez off the floor. Put Bobby in. Or if Bobby wasn't available, shucks, throw Wesley Matthews back in and play Giannis on Horford. Something. It was just I thought the adjustment was too drawn out. You waited too late to make the adjustment, and it snowballed downhill from there. But I know we'll get to it later about the finals matchups and everything, but I wouldn't be surprised if Boston won the whole thing. Actually, I would actually be, kind of happy if they did.
So disappointed.
You be the
That
only
almost
one.
cussed me out. You see,
You be the only one.
So disappointed.
that almost cussed me all the way out.
All right.
Again, that's to take off my fan hat. Ime Udoka, I know I probably just butchered that man's name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Made the adjustment, so Coach Bud didn't at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And when he needed it, he got the best out of his guys. When Giannis went for 44, so did Tatum. That was a game to pull it away, Game 6. Giannis had one of the best games that he had in the series. Expended everything to get that done, but we just they couldn't stop Tatum. Right. And when he matched, the second person was way better than Giannis the second with Middleton out. I mean, they mentioned this on TV. Acho was saying, we say Jordan is 6 for 6 and never went to a Game 7. Well, 2 of those 6s that he won, Paxson made sure he didn't go to a Game 7 with the last shot. And Kerr made sure he didn't go to a Game 7 with that last shot. Where is that person that's going to step up to make sure that Giannis, doesn't get to that Game 7 when he's giving you everything, on that court? And he needs that one last extra kink from the others, as Shaq would call it.
Yeah, that's valid. That's a valid question. Has yet to be seen.
To piggyback off what Al said, I mean, if you just go back to last year, I mean, you see what Middleton put up some clutch jumpers last year to help them get not only to Eastern Conference Finals, but to the championship and continue that run that they did. And PJ Tucker, the nastiness, the toughness, the all in your face where they needed that the most, they didn't have it this year, so they couldn't help stop a run or like hold a lead at point at times. And shit. It's just certain pieces that wasn't there for them this year that just unraveled, and it just showed. Like you can go back to the game where Al Horford scored that many points. You felt like, well, shit, Giannis, even though he did continue to have a good series, somewhat not amazing, but still great enough to put up the numbers that he did.
Who's talking about?
I'm saying you can tell that day at Horford had that game. You see that Giannis was gassed then. You see like he was just like out of it, like he was just done. And it was like, yeah, you gonna have a few more games of this. And somebody else need to step up. And ain't nobody did. Nobody could drop anything. They were just dry and out of it.
Right. They couldn't hit in key moments.
Mm-hmm.
In key moments. Because I believe, was it Game 6? I think it was Game 6, Al. Where Giannis had like 44 and 20. But Drew Holiday had 30, if I'm not mistaken, in that game. But it's just, in those clutch moments, you need them. No one cares that you had such and such amount of points if in the clutch you couldn't deliver.
Yeah, right.
So it's going to be interesting offseason to see what they do. I agree with you, John, that PJ Tucker was missed. Obviously, Chris Middleton was missed. It's hard to replace an all-star, especially when your bench is depleted to begin with. Mm-hmm. Like, even though they won the championship last year without DiVincenzo for like pretty much the whole season, You know what I mean? Look at the bench this year. It's like with a Bucks team that's healthy, who you relying on? Outside of Grayson Allen coming off the bench, Pat Connaughton.
Yeah, when he did get on the
You know
court,
what I mean? Brook Lopez. And then Brook Lopez at 35, 36. In this league, you can't play him in every lineup because he's a liability, from a foot speed issue. So they have a lot of decision makings to do on the personnel front. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. So appreciate everybody joining in and tuning in with us on Twitch, on YouTube, and in the Facebook group, #Sideline Talk. Let's move on to the Suns. The Sun.
Look, let me tell you my experience before. Like, I didn't even watch the game. I was watching the movie with the wife and my phone to the left of me, and I'm hitting the alerts. So I see the alerts from the Facebook comments, and I see, Al, are you watching the game? I already knew it must have been terrible. It must have been an ass whooping. That's because he was asking for help. Al, please get your ass on this TV.
No.
That's how I took it. So I said, all right, let me see what's going on. Put up Bleacher Report. I said, damn. Close out, throw this shit away, go back to the movie. I ain't had to do nothing else. Real.
Now, mind you, I wasn't asking for help because I literally was I missed the first half. I'm out and about. I get in, took a peek at like a performance on Billboard, and then it was like, all right, let me go to the game. I'm like, it's halftime already? And I see the score. I'm like, yo, what? So, but y'all understand? I'm a fan of Luka. I root for Luka a lot.
What?
However, I wanted Chris to get a ring. I feel like Luka, in my mind, Luka is going to be the best player in the league for a whole lot of years. And will have a whole lot of opportunities to win it. At 36, 37 years old.
37.
Yeah, Chris Paul's chances is over.
Well, hold that thought, Herb. Now, when you said that, the guy named Al shook his head. Yeah, because it took him a minute to come around to the Luka.
And that's another thing I was getting tagged on.
Don't believe
that's
the hype.
Another thing I was tagged on. When I said Luka is a bad watch for me, I'm not saying Luka is a bad player. I wanted to correct that. I never said that Luka was a bad player. I just said when I watch him, he never goes off. He's just a bad watch for me, just like Zion. Every time I watch Zion, he get hurt.
All right, let's.
So I would never say he was bad. I even call him Luka the Don. I don't think he's bad at all. I just can't. I've never watched when he goes off of his big games. I'm not in front of my TV watching it. That's
I understand.
The thing. And when I am, like that second half, what was that, game 3? He literally had 33 points in the first half and then had 4 in the second. Just because I started watching at halftime. Like, he's just a horrible watch for me. And then they were taking turns on the pick and roll, bullying Luka. And that was the last time I watched the series, and that was the last time Luka played bad.
So that brings us to our question. Do the Suns try to run it back with the same core guys next season?
I'm torn on this one.
You came up with the question. How you torn? You should already know the answer.
Because, like you said, Chris Paul is 37, and as soon as his 37th birthday hit, he proved 37. Like, he turned into a pumpkin on his 37th birthday. and didn't score. I think he averaged like 9 points the rest of the way.
I'm gonna say that they don't run it back with that core because I don't know what's going on with Ayton. It seems like there's turmoil right there. What's going on with them and with the team and on the court? I just don't know. So maybe they switch some things up, but they do keep CP3 with Booker and see what they can do from there. But with Ayton, it don't feel good. It just don't look like it's gonna be together with them. I mean, it might change over the summer and going into the fall, but we'll see.
I mean, he's a free agent, but I don't know if you reach to pay that.
You talking about he want max dollars, so
All right, that's what I said. I don't know if you reach and pay that for him. I'm an Ayton guy, but sometimes he don't show up to be the Ayton that I think he can be. You there? You frozen?
I think that nigga froze.
Oh, he gone.
Yeah, he froze.
They just don't appear to be Ayton all the time.
And with the Western Conference and the whole NBA getting more healthier going back into next year, especially in the Western Conference with both LA teams and everything that's about to shake up. Shit, even with the you could say the Nuggets, what Utah's going to do, who they're going to trade to try to make that team better. They got to do something because even though they was one of the top teams this year, but it might not happen again. So they're going to have to do something to try to stay in that top 3 to 5 tender of a team.
Yeah. I mean, I think LA is done as far as Lakers. I think
LA and Clippers or just LA? You just go
as far as Lakers, I think it's too old and no feature pieces. I think they're done. And I think the Clippers, you're relying on Kawhi Leonard to be something he's never been. Like, Kawhi Leonard is not a franchise starter or a franchise builder, if you will. He doesn't establish culture. He comes to a team that already has a culture and is a hell of a mercenary. You can't build around Kawhi because he's never there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't build a strong team around him because he's not available. Like, some niggas is Batman and Spider-Man, and you know what to call, you know how to put that call out, and, you know, they're reliable for your city. Some niggas is just Deadpool. They gonna come in and fuck shit up, and that's it. Like, you don't want Deadpool having to save your city the whole goddamn time. You need a Batman.
He gonna end up destroying the city and damn near fucking up the person he's supposed to save at the end of the day.
Yeah,
he gonna win, but he gonna fuck up everything: the culture, your draft picks, your money. You're gonna get that chip, but it's gonna cost your ass at the end of the day, or you're gonna get to the Eastern Conference or Western Conference Finals, but it's gonna cost you something.
Right. Yeah, he's just not a culture builder. Like, the Spurs already had a strong culture. So all you got to do, get a stop, get a bucket guy in there, Kawhi Leonard, when it's, you know, Tim Duncan already built that culture to what it was.
Right.
And then the Raptors, say what you want about Kyle Lowry, but Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan already built the Raptors up. All he had to do, plug in to get a bucket guy, and they have it. Now you're trying to build that with the Clippers. They haven't ever had that.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. So I don't know what happened to her. So I feel like we should stay on a basketball topic while we're here and have one of your stop of the shop questions while we still talking about the Suns. Booker and CP3 has underachieved as a backcourt. Stop of the shop.
I'm going to shop that one personally. I thought maybe because I got too much. Yeah, there's way too much pressure to put on Devin Booker. But this was supposed to be the Lakers backcourt with Kobe and Chris Paul to an extent. Just a little older. And roles reversed.
Herb said Suns need another guy that can create his own shot. I don't think Ayton comes back. But for the shopper to stop the question, we said Booker and CP3 has underachieved as a backcourt. I'm a stop it and shop it. I'm a shop it because I believe CP3 has that mindset in the Suns with Monty Williams and Booker with that whole organization now that if they don't win a championship, it's bust. So they feel like they underachieved. I feel like they overachieved because before CP3 got there, they was just the Suns. It was just a laughable organization. Okay, oh yeah, Booker gonna score 60 plus, 50 plus, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like ain't nobody really scared of the Suns to be like get to the playoffs and be like, oh, that they're gonna do something. When CP3 got there, he changed the whole narrative. So I don't believe they totally underachieved. I just believe with that mindset of what they're trying to do, they feel like they underachieved because they feel like they can win the championship. But me personally, I feel like they overachieved because a lot of people didn't have them in that top tier caliber of a team with going into it when they first started with the LA's healthy, with both LA's being healthy when the trades come down, Golden State being healthy, the Nuggets doing what they're doing with Jovic, Utah doing what they was doing at the time, and you had other teams in the mix. But with those teams, you wasn't mentioning the Suns right there at the top. So I believe now that CP3 come there and with Booker and they helped it going to the championship last year, losing and going kind of medium in the playoffs, they overachieved in the Suns organization from my standpoint because they wasn't top tier before they got there.
Well, like I just said about Kawhi, opposite is true for Chris Paul. That Chris Paul is a Batman that can stabilize a franchise. He's done it in New Orleans, in the middle of Katrina, no less. Matter of fact, him in the middle of Katrina stabilized New Orleans and also created a basketball culture in Oklahoma for what is now the Thunder. So he should stabilize pretty much two franchises. Went to the Thunder, stabilized that franchise after Westbrook and Kevin Durant. Went to the Clippers, stabilized that, which again was never really a stable franchise. And now he's doing it for Phoenix. So he is that culture builder.
Right. That's why I say it's a double-edged sword where you feel like, all right, well, you overachieve, but you underachieve because you still at your age at 37 now want to win a ring. Like if you win a ring, you pretty much walking away. State Farm's gonna have hella commercials for you walking out the court. Everything's gonna be set up for you. Like you might fuck around, cave out, and age 10 years after you win that ring. So that's how I felt about the situation.
Chris Paul will be in somebody's studio pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, while we talking
he's
about
still
Chris
not
Paul,
doing the NBA, if he's not doing the NBA, PA, Players Association stuff, behind the scenes, I think he's really good at it as well.
Yeah. So while we talking about Chris Paul, how did you feel about Pat Beverly rants on Get Up and First Take in the morning?
I missed it because I don't really watch ESPN. I watch Fox on the ESPN.
Right.
But I seen Damian Lillard comments afterwards, which was more interesting for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a Dame guy. So, like you said, what is your beef with Chris Paul? Like, we just seen you smack this. Did he push him? He smacked him back. He pushed him or something, right?
For people who didn't watch, I felt like it was great TV, no matter the outcome, hate or insight or whatever you wanted to call it. I feel like it was good TV, but they baited his ass too. They baited him a lot because it was a build-up. It was a build-up. And they was like, Pat Beverly was like, man, look, I want to see all the slander that y'all give James Harden, Giannis, Embiid, anybody that y'all give slander to, give it to CP3. Don't just say he a Hall of Famer and he one of the best point guards there's ever been and don't give him slander. No, he wanted the same slander. And I guess once they was trying to like twiddle the line and say, but like, oh yeah, he had a bad game, but X, Y, and Z. He was like, nah, we ain't trying to hear that. And you gotta take it a grain of salt, but understand he is in the locker rooms with other people. He did go against plenty of other times in different organizations. So even though we on the outside looking in, some of his word holds merit, even if it's hate or not. Because some hate is truth. Some truth is what it is.
Welcome back.
Yeah. First and foremost.
He gonna go back like 4 comments to
No, I ain't about to go back. I ain't about to go back. I had a lie.
I was like,
L started off with some nonsense.
I know.
I'm gonna let it go though.
I know.
That's the second one you let go. The third one you ain't letting go.
Bruh, that's
I know,
but
that's a lot of hope that I have for Book though. Like
what
a hope I have for Book. But he ain't nowhere, like you said, he ain't nowhere near remotely close.
Y'all listen. Y'all people gotta stop. People gotta stop. Like, you gotta stop. But to your question, I believe from a basketball standpoint, Patrick Beverley said a lot of truth about Chris Paul, about him not guarding anyone, about the fact that you're not going to bed early, because you got to play Chris Paul the next day. The fact that no one in the league is scared of the Suns. Like, that's true. But, and even the fact that, he wants, it seemed like he's fed up that Chris Paul isn't getting the slander treatment because his pedigree. Like you mentioned, John, how, y'all talk about James, y'all slandered PG in the bubble, all this and that. Why not slander Chris? And then also he's frustrated because on the court, he feels as though Chris get a lot of foul calls, or he doesn't get a lot of foul calls. Like, they look out for Chris.
Yeah,
it goes both ways for him.
And he would go through some of the examples of some things of why he should have fouled out in some games.
Correct. But and then also just look at the games. Like, if you pay attention to the games, they attack Chris Paul. And that's no knock on Chris Paul, because that's what you're supposed to do to old men. Like, I don't know what it is about culture now in this generation. Maybe because we have LeBron, who's played, seems like he gets better every year, or Chris Paul for that matter. He's 37 and still doing great things. He look like he looks closer to his younger self than what would expect from 37-year-old man. But at the end of the day, there's still an old man. Like, if you really believe Chris Paul plays defense now, just look what Jalen Brunson did to him. Now, I'm a Jalen Brunson fan. Been since his freshman year at Villanova. Big fan of Jalen Brunson. But just watch the game last night. How many one-on-one matchups? Like, and they're the same size. Matter of fact, Jalen may even be an inch shorter. I'm barbecue chicken.
Hey, Harry.
Tan him a new one.
You know what you just described right now? How your old father or your grandfather get a little easy, cheap win and shit, and then you be like, "Let me stop fucking playing with me."
Right.
Dog that nigga. or your little brother, he get like 4 threes in a row in 2K, and you sit up and dog him for 49 in a row. Like, nah, bro, you're not fucking playing with me. That's what it sounds like you just said to me.
I get it. I get it. I get why he felt that way. But yeah, like, as far as them underachieving as a backcourt, in fact, I ain't going back. I said I wasn't going to go back. Let that be.
It wasn't too far back. We was talking about the Lakers and Kobe and.
Oh no. We ain't gonna. Yeah, come on, man. Listen, we ain't gonna bring that back up. That'd be bad for the platform. Bring that nonsense back up.
Again, I had hope for Book.
Get the hell out of here with that one, shorty.
He a Mamba advocate like myself. I thought he was doing something. All right.
Yeah. Listen, it's the wrong light skinned person that you giving that that moniker to, or have another type of high hopes for. It ain't that one.
I was the yellow one over there and wearing green. I know. I got you.
But underachieving as a backcourt, I would say no. They did not underachieve. Well, it's a push because from a standpoint of winning a title, obviously they underachieved.
Mm-hmm.
Best record in the game, well, in the league, number 1 seed, go home. Last year to get to the finals, didn't get it done. That's an underachievement.
Mm-hmm.
But from a franchise standpoint, as much high praise people love to give Devin Booker now, before CP3 got there, nowhere close to being this team.
Sure.
So CP3 gets there, they go from at best, their very best was a play-in team the year before CP3 got there. That was their best season. He gets there, what do they do? Go to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
The following, what do they do? Number 1 seed. That's a big achievement.
Yep.
Great achievement.
Mm-hmm.
Going forward, I just think, like you mentioned my comment before, they gotta break it up. Like CP3 can't play as many minutes or dominate the ball as much. Like not at coming into the league. Well, next season at 38, 30, yeah,
37,
37.
38 playoff time.
Yeah, can't dominate the ball as much. In this league, at that position, at his size, no, because he's gonna be a liability.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like, and there's no disrespect. Obviously, I'm the biggest Chris Paul fan, on the stream right now. So, but it is what it is, man. Sometimes you get to the end. His longevity is amazing and, isn't stated enough.
Thanks to David Stern, you are.
Thanks to David. This dude, man. All right. Shop it or stop it. So let me stick with the NBA. The NBA is a parity league now. You shop it or you stop it.
I guess y'all waiting for me. I'm gonna have to stop it. It's not parity as in like the 4 teams that's there. One has the most champions. All 4 of them have been a champion within the last 15 years. Most of them within the last 10. Or 3 of them within the last 10. So it's still the same teams getting a chip. It's just quote unquote more teams like rotated at the bottom, if you will, the bottom of the 8 to get in. But it's still the same teams fighting for the chip at the end of the day. It's still, Steph and Clay, the Super Splash Brothers. There's still Miami with Pat and Spo. It's Boston Celtics, who is, no matter who they're playing, they will always be in contention with the Lakers. Like when the Lakers won the bubble championship, I didn't say we beat Miami. I said, oh, we're finally tied with Boston. That's always going to be the competition. And who are they playing? Dallas. I mean, it's Dallas. They've been good for the last 20 years since Dirt and Nash. So they've always been one of those top teams. They won, 2011? So within the last 10 years, they won. Well, that's 12 years they won. Something like that. My math is off, but you get what I'm saying.
John, you got it. If we ready.
Nah, I ain't ready.
All right. I'll take it. So parity means, in the sense of being equal, right? Where pretty much every team is equal to the other. From that standpoint, no, there's no parity in the NBA. To say the same 4 teams or whatever going to win it every year, that's not entirely true. The franchise that builds the best team and the best roster is going to be there and be the ones that's going to be consistently in the runnings. I.e., I'm not even going back 15 years as you did. I'm just going within the last 5. Golden State is that team. The years that they missed the playoffs was because their superstars were hurt. In the last year, what was that? What was that, one season they was out?
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
They lost in the play-in, right?
Yeah, they lost the play-in.
The Grizzlies.
Lakers. And Grizzlies.
2 seasons. So 2 seasons they missed. Out of them 2 seasons, they were playoff since Steph Curry been in the league, playoff team, or in the finals. That's just a well-ran franchise. If you look at it outside of them, Boston is a rising franchise, but also a historic franchise who just builds the right way. And you look at their roster, they're built the right way and are in the right they set up to win now and going forward. That doesn't mean like their roster is that much better. It's just a well-ran franchise. We say Dallas has been good for 20 plus years. They got 1 ring.
Boston got 1 ring in the last 35, but Kevin Garnett and Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce won't let y'all forget that 1 ring that Boston got the last 35
years. That is true. That is true. You're correct. They did get 1 in the last 35 years. But going forward, they're set up to win the right way.
The one thing about Boston is, like, you know, I'm not no NBA guru or whatever, or basketball guru. When you look at Boston and when they try to make their transactions with either draft or free agency, when they make their big swing, they make their big swing and they stay with their team and they try to build around that team the best way available. You got other teams, they make that big swing, crumble it up, throw it away, try to keep doing it, and they don't never succeed. But with Boston, they keep building on what they try to believe is their team and go off of it, even if they got to change coaching now.
Yeah. I think that the biggest difference in the league now, and probably, you know, why the question was thought of, is there isn't, like, the dominant team isn't as dominant, or franchise isn't as dominant as it was when we were younger.
It's no 3-peats, no.
Well, I think that's what it is. Like, because no matter, like the 90s basketball was great. Really great. You had super teams in Houston, Orlando, Chicago, Portland, Detroit, Lakers at the beginning, Blazers for a little bit, Utah, San Antonio. But the point was, Indiana had a great team. The Knicks had a great team. But the point was, it don't matter how great your team was, we knew that man was going to win.
And whip all y'all motherfucking ass.
Like, when he was in the league, it's just what we got accustomed to. And then for a nice little stretch in the early 2000s, if it wasn't them in purple and gold, on them odd years, it was going to be them in black and silver.
Yeah.
That's what, and then now it's just like, all right, it's starting to shift. We're looking at a shift because Golden State, as great as they are, they don't look like the clear-cut favorites to even win it this year. Mm-hmm. As a betting man, you would put money on them. That might be the safest bet, just because of past experience. But you never know. And I like it this way, to be honest. It makes you what is it? A little more excited watching every NBA game.
That should go on to your next question.
It sure did. Like I did that there, Jordan.
Yes,
Man,
sir.
That's what I did right there.
Yeah, I see the alley loop.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit, man.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just tuning in, we've been discussing the NBA playoffs. We just finished wrapping up talking about is the NBA a parity league? And now it brings us to our next question. With so many young stars, can the NBA afford to create 4 expansion teams?
That wasn't a question I thought you was gonna ask, but I'm good
wasn't.
with that.
That wasn't a question?
Nah.
What's what you gonna ask?
I thought you was gonna say which team had the best chance to win the championship.
Oh, we know. Well, we go there. We go there.
No, you already got the
Best chance
question
to
up,
win.
so we gonna go
We
ahead.
headed to this one now.
No,
Yeah,
we
he
here. We
has the
here.
best.
We back. We back. The best chance to win the championship.
I say it's every damn team. Equally.
That's an easy way.
I don't feel like if I'm looking at it as a like outside looking in, not being a real fan of any team, just like certain players, I believe everybody got a chance. Luke can go crazy, and his role players can help out. Go to state when they finally get hot and they can stay consistently hot. They a dangerous fucking team. Tatum looked like he trying to be the best player in the world come next year and let motherfuckers know I'm here. Jaylen Brown might help him step up and be his Robin to the Batman, whatever you try to call him.
It's Batman too.
And Miami look like they don't give a fuck who in front of them. They're gonna give them that work. So that's why I say anybody. For me personally, looking outside looking in.
So I asked the question in the group. Only thanks for the votes. We got the Celtics leading the way for some odd reason.
Who has the Celtics leading the way?
Huh?
Say it again. I hear what you said.
I said when I asked the question in the group, we had the Celtics leading the way for some odd reason.
You know what reason.
But I'm gonna go with, like you said earlier, the Warriors. I mean, they got their leaders that's been there before are healthy. Now, knock on wood for health's sakes. Game 6 Clay showed why he got the nickname Game 6 Clay. Steph is shooting bad and he's still shooting 30% from 3, which is crazy. That's like damn near everybody.
And they miss some free throws.
And then you have a coach that's been there that knows how to make these adjustments. So I would love to see Warriors Celtics in the final. I'm sorry, I'll take that back. I love to see Warriors Heat in the finals. But I think the Warriors have it.
You said Warriors and Heat.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I got Warriors and Heat. Not because I don't like Boston. I just think defensively, I feel like he can match up with the role players of Boston, how they got so hot versus Milwaukee.
I think Spo and Pat.
PJ Tucker helps out a lot.
Listen.
Jimmy Butler.
Listen. I understand Al is a Laker fan, so he would never pick Boston. The truth is, he know damn well he's scared. Because if Boston go to the finals, he know they got a strong chance to beat the Warriors. That's what it really is. Like, it's beyond strong. Like, he low-key talking about, I don't know why, Boston. He know deep down in his heart, like, bro, this might be their year. That's what he feel it. He trying to deny it. I understand. Be the Laker fan. I get it. I understand. I see through it, though. I think
JT is amazing. I ain't gonna lie.
The best betting chance.
Oh, why you freeze up again? Yeah, just Jason Tatum is amazing. So I ain't even gonna hold you on that. So I mean, Boston got a chance. Boston got a chance. Damn, we keep freezing up. Sorry about the
Look, man, you sound depressed saying that Tatum is no going to be that dude or is that dude right now. At the
Guns
moment.
are here, Celtic and a Duke player. Like, what the fuck? Like, pick
So
a struggle, bro.
going real quick while we try to let him catch up. Go back to that draft. When was he drafted? What round? I mean, what pick was he drafted?
Second. I think he was right behind. He was right behind Joe or right behind Ingram. I can't remember what draft that was.
So look it up real quick. Let Humble Beast catch up and see how that draft unfold. Just do the first 5 picks and see how that shit would just different up.
2017 NBA draft. Yeah, so I was right behind Alonzo. Yeah, first pick was Markelle Fultz. Didn't really work out for Philly, but doing big things in Orlando, I think it is.
Yeah, Orlando.
Then we picked Zoe. Lakers picked Zoe. And he's playing well in Chicago. And he played well in New Orleans, too. And then you got Jason Tatum right there at pick 3. Josh Jackson was the 4th pick by the Suns, and De'Aaron Fox for the Kings was the 5th.
Imagine if the Lakers would have picked Tatum. How you feel about that, man?
Honestly, Tatum wasn't even my pick, so I can't even be mad and act like I knew Jason Tatum was going to be this player.
Okay.
I thought we was because we just, I'm not mistaken. Did we have? I don't know if we had Ingram yet.
Well, look at
we had just drafted. We had just drafted Ingram.
That shit speaks wonders. Think about the team that you could have fucking had.
Ingram. We already had Ingram, so Tatum wasn't the pick for me. The pick for me was Fox. I wanted Fox and Ingram to play together.
All right. Ingram, Tatum. Come on now.
Because Ingram and Tatum played the same exact spot. I mean, I know it's a position.
I would have had him on the court and do something different.
Yeah, but again, his position was basketball. But again, building the team, we needed a point guard at that time. We had Russell, but I was never a D'Angelo Russell fan. I was never sold on D'Angelo Russell. I know he went to Golden State and had a year, but that speaks more to Golden State than it speaks to him.
He would have Golden State had an okay, all right, little stint, but he did his damage in Brooklyn.
Was it Brooklyn? I know he was an all-star for one of them teams. I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, it was in Brooklyn. Then he got traded to Golden State. Golden State helped him out real quick. He got a little stability. Then they left, went to the Minnesota, where they ain't doing shit there unless they get rid of Towns. So, so let's go to the question that Herb was going to start off with. And what was that? Which one was that?
The 4 expansion teams.
Oh yeah, the 4 expansion teams.
So when you look at some of these rosters, everybody with these supermax,
right?
I don't know why I went 4 teams. I could have asked 2 or just an expansion period. So if I remove the word 4 and just go expansion, I think so. Without it actually killing the league, because we have so many guys that may be on benches that can't necessarily crack a lineup because some of their lineups are so good. There's only 5 people on the court.
Yeah.
So I think you can. And it was more so a WNBA needing expansion type of deal as well.
Sure. Because
it's talented WNBA players, but because it's only 10 teams.
Wasn't there more teams when it started or no? It was always
No, it was always around like 8. I think it was 8 when it started, 4 East, 4 West.
Oh, okay.
So now it's 10 there in the WNBA. And like I said, with the talent that's coming in, you got talented people sitting home.
Yeah.
Because there's only so many spots. So no need to expand. Yeah, there's only so many spots. But like I said, Taya Cooper is one of the good point guards. She dropped 26 and sitting home. Like, she dropped 26 last year in the game. She's sitting home.
Yeah.
Kaiser Gonzalez was Indiana Fever. She's sitting home. I said just certain players got cut at the last day just because you can't afford to carry so many teams or so many players. And there's bench players coming off, like someone like Jordan Poole, someone like trying to think the names that just came in. Like Dallas got rid of an all-star and is now in the conference finals.
I would think like it should be a no-brainer to do it for WNBA because there's a lot of cities, a lot of states that's hungry for a team, period, that would just run at the chance to get a team. Like you look at all these cities now, they've run at a chance to get a soccer team. They probably will run at a chance to get a hockey team. So if you add a WNBA, that just only hope to strengthen your team to get a regular men's NBA team. And
I mean, Seattle.
I'm not sure it would be good for the game right now because they already talking about shortening the game. People will have to travel more. You still have to do COVID restrictions. I just think the NBA is fine where it's at. It's already getting watered down because a lot of players are not fully developed mentally and like skill wise when they come in the game. That's why they washed out so quick. But for the WNBA, sure, hands down.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle was so hungry for a team at this season. They have a hockey team they just created.
Yeah.
So that is a market that's begging for something to do between February and August.
Herb said, "Do you think the unfortunate situation with Brittany Griner is going through will force the NBA players, the organization, to pay the ladies year round?" That should be already kind of stacked, especially because granted, with a lot of the LGBTQ community, some women are straight, so they have babies, so they need to get paid for a round. That should be standard in like whatever organization meetings they have with the players and organizations. That should be already kind of in the motion. But you look at a lot of these ladies, they even gotta go to do the WNBA and then go overseas to make ends meet. And that's after a while, that shit's stupid. The NBA should help out and spend some of that money. They probably spend more money overseas and overseas teams and organizations and arenas than they do for the WNBA women.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, after the season, like Herb said, after the season, they got to play overseas and then come back. I think it lessens, and I was watching a WNBA documentary this weekend as well on NBA TV. It lessens the WNBA as a whole because they're literally tired. They play a season, go across seas, play a season, come back, play a season. Them niggas are tired. Like, they don't have no rest. There's no rest for the worry. So I know, shout out to Nneka and Ngumake. She's working as the NBA PA. That's the WNBA PA president. So I know that's something that she's trying to get accomplished, trying to get across.
You got too much untapped talent coming out of college that's exciting to watch when it comes down to tournament time to not showcase that in the WNBA. Like, you got females out here that's trying to fight for a position where they're not going to see any time, or when they do get time, it's not that much. So now they got to go overseas and make ends meet.
Right. I mean, the ladies are definitely supported by Kevin Durant. I know is a big advocate for it. Kobe, rest in peace, was an advocate for WNBA. Booker, Chris Paul, and Crowder show up sometimes for the Mercury games, as a team. So they have that support from the NBA players as far as viewership. So I think they can get together and do something to get more. I mean, Nneka, like I said, Nneka with WNBA PA has already increased, the salary that they're getting. A little bit about percentages.
Yeah, I think WNBA need to do something about that better than because there's too many situations overseas, like with Russia going on right now. Anything could happen.
Right. Yeah, like I said, yes. Your franchise player is across seas.
Hell yeah.
Your Brittany Griner is one of the top WNBA players. She's been one of the top players since she came out of was that Baylor?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Came out of Baylor. On the football field, it's a grown ass man, dog.
Brittany Griner?
Yeah, it's a grown ass man, dog. She got a whole kid. She got child support for a kid that ain't her that she ain't agree with. That's a grown ass man, dog.
Mm-hmm. So shout out to Facebook group. Someone said I still think Sacramento is going to move one day. It's possible, but again, I think Seattle definitely needs a franchise for NBA. I just think that's the market.
They do for one. That's one thing. If you go to you go from Seattle to a city that you can all right, yeah, I understand that. Well, no, fuck no. I'm not going from Seattle to Oklahoma. No, fuck no. Hell no. So
I don't know.
That's it for the WNBA.
All right, I'm about to say there's enough for NBA talk today. Let's talk football. Where we want to start? Schedule?
Let's start with the QBs.
Okay. So what young QB is set to rise to superstar status? If you've seen over the last few years, Pat Mahomes took the lead by storm his second year.
Yeah.
Followed by, was MVP. Followed by second year, Lamar Jackson, unanimous MVP. Followed by second year, Joe Burrow, going to the Super Bowl. So we've seen these second year, third year quarterbacks take a step forward. Right. I think the one that's going to do it, I'm hoping, is Justin Herbert. I don't know if he's already a superstar, but so I don't know if he's already a superstar, so that might be an easy cop out, but I definitely think Herbert is one of them. I think Jalen Hurts. I love what the Eagles have done for their team in their receiving corps. Mm-hmm. So I'll go with those still in AFC for AFC and the NFC pick.
I would I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields. I'm not sure what they're going to do with Trevor Lawrence right now at this moment. It's one of them organizations that even if they get it right somewhat, they seem like they're going to fuck it up somewhere. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So what they did with Jalen Hurts consistently told you, we believe in Jalen Hurts and Philly, so we're going to run with it. We're going to put players around them. So I'm going to say it's either him and Justin Fields. Hopefully they can get it together in Chicago. I don't want to say it's Justin Herbert, like you said, that's an easy cop out, because I already think they put him there in that top tier caliber already as it is. Even after his first year, they believed in him so much. Like I look at one of the ratings, they already got him as a top 6 quarterback in the rate.
So if I take,
and he didn't even make the playoffs the first 2 years, and they already got him as a top caliber ranking as a QB.
That's what I was saying. I mean, the AFC West being so competitive and stacked at this point, I think him coming out of the AFC West and possibly being, top 2 quarterback in the AFC West would make him more of a superstar to get him more of that recognition. I mean, the Broncos at the beginning of the season has 6 or 7 standalone games where it may not be a Monday night or a Sunday night football, but they're in London, one of those games. So they're the only thing on to watch as far as football for a couple of those games. There's some Sunday nights, some Monday nights, some Thursday nights. Yeah. And the Chargers is one of them. He's going to get a little bit more recognition, across the league.
So flip side, if they don't get to the playoffs or one and done, who is to blame? You didn't already fired your head coach 2 years ago.
I hate to say this because he's the second year guy, but Brandon Staley is playing. He's coaching like he's playing Madden. I keep saying that, but I need him to make better decisions because you got Andy Reid that you're coaching against.
Mm-hmm.
As a coach, you already know he's going into the game with one of the best offensive game plans.
Mm.
So you got very little room for error, and you're a defensive head coach, which is not really the way. But the odds as a defensive head coach is kind of stacked against you when you look at the last Super Bowl head coaches to win or even to make it to the Super Bowl were offensive guys. Andy Reid, Bruce Arians, Kyle Shanahan, Taylor in Cincinnati, Doug Peterson won it one of them years. Like besides Bill, defensive coaches ain't winning in this league.
All right. So well, what about Mac Jones and Tua?
I'm not sold on Mac or Tua. No.
Well, okay. Why you not first with everything around Tua? Why do you think he's not going to succeed with that team?
His arm strength, not necessarily throwing the deep ball, but the velocity on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it flutters. Like I watched the game because somebody was telling me, Tua beat y'all team, and I watching him make these throws. It was so many interceptions that was there to be had that just dropped.
Viva, why I said we needed a safety, but no, I'm not going to say nothing.
Like they just flutter. The ball flutters out of his hands, and it's been like that since Alabama. Yeah, he could throw it deep, but it flutters. It's not a powerful, but a lot of velocity on his passes that gets there. That's what I mean by arm strength.
All right. So what else? What do you don't believe about Mac Jones? You don't believe in the team, the weapons, or you just don't believe in Mac Jones?
He's basic. He's mid. Like he's not bad, but he's very mid. Like he's very average baseline, what you want a quarterback to do. And as far as New England, they don't have the weapons to elevate mid. Like they've had mid weapons for so long, but Tom Brady elevates mid weapons to talent.
So what if they don't have the weapons, they still find a way to make the playoffs? What would you say about that team then? Would you just put it on?
I think they're not going to make the playoffs.
I'm asking you if.
Drew Brees also led the league in interceptions a lot more times than I wanted to. Herb said Drew Brees didn't have great arm strength, but he got it done. And like I said, Drew Brees also threw a lot more interceptions than I needed him to. So Tua ain't that accurate. That's the thing with Drew Brees. Drew Brees could hit the axe in the middle of your shoulder pads when you running the route. Tua ain't got that.
All right, but what if Mac Jones do get to the playoffs?
I think Mac Jones will get to the playoffs. I think they'll be they have a good chance of being one of the 3 wild cards. I don't have them winning that division.
Okay. All right. So what was
I think
that
Buffalo still wins that division. Buffalo might win it all.
Did Buffalo do enough to get the hype that they have to be a number 1 overall rated AFC team?
I think so.
Why? Give me reasons why, based off what you've seen of their play and what they added and what they didn't add.
Okay, Josh Allen is first off. If Josh Allen is the bad thing of your team, or the most inconsistent thing of your team, that's pretty good. Josh Allen is very inconsistent, but he's also very good as well. When he's good, he's good. And he dueled out, and he, was right there in step with Kansas City last year. They were right there in step with everybody last year, and most teams in the AFC got worse.
Okay.
Most teams in the AFC either lost their number 1 wide receiver, lost, a coach or two. Best thing about the team. More the defense to me is the best thing about the team. They were the number 1 scoring defense. number one yards defense, and they've been that for the last 2-3 years. While Josh Allen was gathering his steps, they've been that. So, that's to me why I think they have a good scoring defense, a good scoring offense.
I don't
see what they
I-
draft.
I'm not saying that-
Kaiir Elam. I think without what got them exposed and eventually lost that game was them not having their number one corner.
even with that number one corner, they still lose that game. How they lost it? Because they went off of mismatches in the slot consistently. That was just bad coaching and bad philosophy. How you try to win that game towards the end. But if you go back to just their whole season as whole, they don't have a great offensive line. They just play a lot of teams that can't rush the passer, especially last year. They can't run the ball.
Well,
Only person who can run the ball is Josh Allen, and they can't stop the run at all. They do well at certain things, but they don't do well. They don't do good at everything. And I think a lot of teams. Go ahead.
They're not horrible. Well, they don't run the ball. You're right. They are actually horrible at running the ball. I don't think they're horrible in the backfield, though. That's the thing.
But that goes back to your offensive line, too. If your offensive line at times can't pass block, but then they can't run block to open a hole for your running game, that speaks to your offensive hole. You relying so much on Josh Allen, then after a while, somebody going to lock up Diggs. Somebody going to get Gabriel Davis and hold him for a little bit. And then when you get hit and you try to make something happen, the tight end ain't going to always bail your ass out off of a prayer throw.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like,
I mean, I like Gabe. Was it Gabriel? Gabriel?
Yeah.
I'll call Gabriel.
Gabriel Davis.
Davis. I like Davis. I like Diggs. Like I said, I like Josh Allen. I respect Josh Allen. I respect him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I think he's very inconsistent, but when he's high, he's very top echelon. Even his lows is not like out of the top 15. Like he's just not.
Yeah. Okay. They lost their offensive coordinator to the Giants. How does that affect them?
I think that will affect them slightly, not a lot, because you also have an offensive coordinator that was there. So that might, like I said, what y'all was saying as far as running the ball.
I'm interested to see what
they
Ken
don't have
Dorsey
a bad
does.
backfield.
Yeah, well, I'm interested to see what Ken Dorsey does, and hopefully, because he's one of them players that turn into like assistant coaches that pay his dues, and he's been going on his way up for years and years.
Mm-hmm.
I
bet they don't stop him, but they stop Airbnb, but that's probably a whole nother.
All right. Well, let's discuss.
Yeah, like I said, he's been with the team. He's been a player. I think, like I said, they don't have a bad backfield. They just don't use it. Mm-hmm. So maybe Ken Dorsey uses that backfield to give Josh Allen a little bit more of a reprieve, a little bit more of a not having to put everything on your shoulders type of deal this year.
Okay.
There's Devin Singletary and who's the other back they have? You got Singletary and you have it's not Moss. Yeah, it is Moss. Okay. Yeah, Devin Singletary and Zach Moss. Like, yeah, pretty solid.
And we're gonna find out about that team when it comes down to the first game of the year when they gotta play the Rams. So we'll see how that folds out for them defensively and offensively. And they gotta stop the run and they gotta stop Aaron Donald. All right, so
come on, like stopping Aaron Donald that's a myth. Like that shit don't happen. Aaron Donald stops Aaron Donald.
Well, we'll pray that you can at least let that nigga trip or something.
Right.
So what in the schedule coming up, what top games are you looking forward to seeing as a fan?
Denver and Seattle. Denver and Seattle. I want to see Russell terrified off of them. Just a payback because they made it seem like he burned everything down in the kingdom when you let him cook. Again, as a fan, I want to beat the GOAT, as they call him. You know, I want to beat. I don't care if he's 45 years old. I want this year to be the year that he realizes that he's 45 years old. I want this year to be the year that people ain't talking about, oh, damn, y'all couldn't even beat Tom Brady, and it don't, you know, that man had to walk away because can't nobody stop him. He getting bored. No, right. I want him to actually look like he's 45 years old in that damn field.
I mean, you got games
Buffalo,
like
I know Buffalo and the Chiefs play again. So I mean, they both won their division, so that one would definitely be good. And
like for example, week 1, of course, that's the kickoff. You got the Bills at the Rams. Week 2, you got Chargers at Chiefs, but also week 1, you got the Chargers and the Raiders for that rematch. That should be a good week 1 game. Well, you got Cowboys at the Packers, Buccaneers at 49ers. The Bills play a lot of teams that's going to test them in that schedule.
All right, I think that right there will actually show me if they're ready to take that next step to be the top AFC team.
Yeah,
because they're going to get tested by, as you said, they can't stop the run. All right, let's see what Mixon does against them. I think Mixon is one of the top 10 all-around backs in the league.
Right.
What does he do against that defense? They can't stop the run. What do they do against Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow? What do they do against Kansas City? Like, you're going to be tested. You're going to have to earn this playoff spot.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I don't know. I might pick them. We'll see later as it gets closer to the time for us to pick our Super Bowl favorites. We'll see. Did she freeze up on me too?
No, all right.
There you go.
With Jarvis off the market, is the Ravens better off not adding a free agent wide receiver? I know this ate your ass up all day.
But this one is more for y'all because I'm saying they needed a goddamn wide receiver. Y'all was like, let's go with the 18 unprovens. Like, one of the 12 unproven receivers we got gonna have to step up. I'm like, all right, but you might want to get some insurance for that just in case, you know. So I'm thinking with the guys left since Jarvis is now a New Orleans Saint. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking Odell. I'm thinking Julio. I'm thinking Will Fuller is available. And only one of them I see playing well with what we would want to do, and that's Julio. Odell ain't blocking all goddamn day, and he was Will Fuller.
And I don't expect fucking Julio to block all damn day. That motherfucker hurt damn near half the season. So why would I even expect him to waste a roster spot? And Will Fuller too. That motherfucker be hurt every other year. So it's like no matter what team, Houston, Dolphins, it don't matter what team he on. He hurt for 30-40% of the year. So shit, you ain't no good position either. Odell, what he gonna give you? 30% of the season? Shit, if that's the case, and that's what I gotta choose between. That's what I'm going with the rookies. Put up Likely, put up Kohler, let that shit run. Put one out in the slot. Let's get it block or something. Shit, because if I gotta deal with them 3 broke ass motherfuckers right now, I think Julio might end up in the Colts. He might wait damn near to like training camp, end up with Matt Ryan. I know what he got. I know what he gonna do. Let's get it. Odell, he gonna fuck around, ended up in Green Bay or the Rams or something like that. He gonna end up where he feel like he can win and showcase with a good quarterback to his standard to help him at least keep getting money.
It seemed like the Rams was trying to lowball him because he said he ain't going back to nobody and playing on the budget, basically.
Well, shit. Why would you? you getting that good money from New York / Cleveland, and you got to go down to LA just to win a ring. You got the ring, but now shit, you got a family. You just had a child. You ain't doing that. LA just paid all them people. People trying to figure out how the fuck they paying them and shit. Nah, and shit.
All right. I mean, this list don't look like a good ass.
Yeah.
You got Julio at 33, Will Fuller at 28, T.Y. at 32.
Fuck no.
Allen Hurns at. Lord, I thought that said 50. Like, damn. Not 50. Deshaun Jackson at 35. Odell at 29. Muhammad Sanu at 32. D.D. Westbrook. I mean,
I'm running out of fingers.
It ain't no good options. I think we stuck with what we got right now.
You better stacking up that offensive line. Go ahead, get what you got, an unrestricted free agency, and keep it moving.
Yeah, I just think we stuck with what we got. I mean, it's, like I said, a hell of a roll of the dice when your quarterback is on his last year. They might be trying to set my guy up. You never know. But
you just gave him the center that's supposed to be there for the next 8 to 10 years, depending on his leg health. So,
I mean,
you invest into him what he
wants.
wants.
Throwing the ball to the goddamn center. That's supposed to do.
And make sure that fucking snap ball go into between his chest and the numbers, and not over his fucking head or under his legs. And block up front so he can step up front and throw the ball to the receiver or whatever tight end or running back.
To JK? Like, who the hell he throwing the ball to?
Look, man. Look. You know the receivers that we got. I believe we need to start giving Duvernay more shots than what he had.
I do believe in the wide receiver we have. I like Bateman.
And?
Duvernay's a hell of a returner. They use the hell out of that man on end arounds.
And that's the problem. They're using them wrong. Feed that motherfucker.
Prochet, whenever he ain't in John Harbaugh's doghouse, produces.
Prochet can beat motherfuckers one-on-one.
He produces when he's not in the doghouse.
Simple. He can beat people one-on-one. He fast enough. He got good enough route running to beat people one-on-one. It's Greg Roman's job to put them in a position to win.
I actually got more faith for Tylen Wallace than I got Tylen Wallace and
it don't matter who put on that Ravens uniform. Are you gonna go up and have a dog moment, or you gonna go up and be a bitch? That's it.
Lord, we went from praying for George Pickens to Makai Polk might get it done. Like, it's a hell of a four-hole. That's all I'm saying.
But our defense is gonna be the difference, though. At the end of the day.
Yeah, I think we're going to be able to stop people's run, stop people's pass. Hopefully, Kyle Hamilton come in and can, force turnovers. That's what we expecting them to do out of Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. Be a rangy safety. Aaron just told you he don't like. I didn't say I don't like him. I said I like Bateman. And Duvernay is going on end around there. A hell of a returner. And Prochet can't stay out the doghouse. So what do they got to do with me not liking them? It ain't me not liking them. It's John and Greg Roman not liking them. Just using niggas on end rounds and put them in the doghouse. The hell I got to do with not liking them?
Hey, you see that picture that Herb put in a group message? The NBA NFL player ranks by division. We got the top 10. Look at that. Look at that. Right?
TJ, Myles Garrett.
You got number 1 at TJ, 2 Myles Garrett, 3 Deshaun Watson, 4 Joel Benito, 5 Nick Chubb, 6 Joe Burrow, 7 Lamar Jackson, 8 Jamal Chase, 9 Cam Hayward, and 10 Ronnie Stanley. I kind of wouldn't have. I mean, that's off of respect because he ain't playing like fucking 2 years. So I wouldn't have Ronnie Stanley in that top 10 yet. Right now, going into the season, because he ain't playing 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
But Lamar Jackson being at 7 is shit.
That's fine. Put him at 7. That's fine. Joe Bentonio. I sure hope he keep not Baker. What's the dude name that's behind Baker? He gonna be. Hope he keeping him upright until Deshaun Watson get back.
Yeah.
That's that center, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to figure out where the hell is Joe Mixon at on this list.
I would have Joe Mixon on that list at least above Cam Hayward. I mean, Cam Hayward ain't no slouch, but shit, Joe Mixon, he ball.
Yeah, like I say, he a dual threat running back.
If I would do anything, I would take Deshaun Watson and Ronald Stanley off this list and add to somebody else because they like you said, like Herb said, why is Deshaun Watson even on there? He ain't even play a game. I would say the same thing about him and Ronnie Stanley. Take them both off the list and put somebody else on there to rank.
Yeah, I think people are projecting. Now, I don't think that Lamar Jackson is the third best quarterback in this division, but how we just said, with me not believing in the wide receivers, he might be. He might be. I don't think he is, but I don't put the blame on him. I've been saying since 2013, 2014, it ain't the quarterback. So I'll keep singing the same song until somebody on the one winning drive start listening to me. It ain't the quarterback.
Herb said, "Where's Mark Andrews?"
Where is Mark Andrews?
He need to be more elaborate. Like, where's that motherfucker practicing at right now? Warming up or?
I think you're talking about on this list.
Ooh. Go back and listen and see where he should be at, Al.
I'm trying to see. You got TJ, you got Miles, you got Deshaun.
That motherfucker should be top 5. I'm not even gonna sit there.
I'm having an issue. I have an issue with that Joe Bentonio. It is not a slouch or a shot to Joe. It's just more people, like you said, Mark Andrews, Joe Mixon should be on here. So somebody got to come off. Then I think he's top 10.
Joe Manito come the fuck off. Mark Andrews is in that damn list.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson ain't on Lamar level on the list. I'm bow out. Watson, I'm biased against. I've been biased for him ever since I seen him beat St. Nick twice. Only one of them counted, but when I seen him play against St. Nick twice, I've been biased. So
okay. So what is he in the playoffs? He's like what? He's 1 and 2.
Did he win a game? Oh yeah, he did beat Buffalo.
He beat Buffalo. Buffalo, what? They had that game in hand, and then Houston came back and won it.
Yeah. Yeah, he 1 and 2 in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That's same as Lamar, right? Lamar's 1 and 3.
Yeah, he 1 and 3. Herb said 4 Browns belong on the list.
Question. Nah. Again, people are overhyping.
I'm taking 2 of them off. I can respect Nick Chubb.
Yeah, I think Nick Chubb definitely is on there.
Myles Garrett.
Miles is on there, yeah.
Does Cam Hayward need to be on the list?
I respect him, but I don't know if he needs to be on there. Like I said, it's like with the people that's off, like I said, Joe Mixon. Well, no, because I done took 2 people. I done put 2 people on, 3 people on, 2 people on. And we done took 3 off. So I can keep Cam on there.
I will put what's the homie in the safety for the Steelers? What's his name again?
Minka?
Huh?
Minka?
Yeah, I would put him over Cam Hayward.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
I gotta check that.
He beat the Titans, he beat Buffalo.
He beat Buffalo. Because that what was that that
Josh
tackle
Allen's first playoff game.
Huh?
Josh Allen's first playoff game.
Yeah. I'm about to go to it.
Yeah, Kansas City beat Buffalo. I'm sorry, Kansas City beat Titans that year. They beat Houston and the Titans.
Mm-hmm. Because let me see. Tay said, y'all still there? I'm like, shit.
Sorry, y'all still here. All right. Damn. When you supposed to go through this whole list today? That's the list. Can't stay right. Yeah, that's the list. I don't think we
Yeah, it was
covered anything else.
it was January the 4th. What's that? 20. That shit went to overtime.
Making that over Cam for her.
He said, not at all.
Not at all. I'm saying I respect Cam. I'll leave him on there.
Nah, I don't have no problem with Cam being on the list. I'm just saying, can there be somebody more valuable there? If you had to think about it.
Nah. Like I said, to me they even, but I'm gonna make the from fans from Bama. So him and Derwin, he seems to be the one that's staying healthy.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, shit, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Y'all see the ticker down there. Follow us on YouTube, Sideline Talk _SLT, Instagram and Twitter at the Sideline Talk, Facebook group, #Sideline Talk. Thank you to our sponsor, Love and Light Doula Agency. You need a consultation, a hot girl summer, y'all want to get it in?
Nah.
Make some babies.
Nah.
You know who to contact once that belly starts, getting full. That belly start to poke out, you know who to call. Love and Light Doula Agency. I'll give you that number real quick. So they specialize in fertility support, surrogacy, consultation, labor support, and postpartum support. So even after the baby come out, you got a friend. Call them 410-657-8767. That's our show for this evening. Be blessed, be productive, be more. I don't know how to stop this.